We're coming live from Albert Park in Melbourne for the season finale of the 24th season of the Allflattious iGP Championship. It's a bizarre grid, actually, because it is a front row lockout for RWB. Enrique Mansilla, in what will be his final career start in the series, takes his second career pole, the previous of which came 4.5 seasons ago at Hockenheim. Eddie Cheever, who so nearly won Sao Paulo, lines up alongside him. Given the pace of the RWB in that race, it's quite possible they might run away at the front. The second row is all Ferrari. Mario Andretti settling into the team well. He's ahead of Chris Amon. Amon has a lot to fight for at the moment because he is ninth in points this season, but with Beltois and Rint and Mansilla all on his tail. So a poor result could see him drop out of the top 10 of the championship. Fifth and sixth, the two arrows. Baldi ahead of Gavin, as per usual. Serval's Gavin's seat is under threat, but he's expected to stay now. Jackie X, a brilliant performance. He's been rather good this season in the latter half, and he is the top medium starter. Alain Prost, looking to secure third in the championship, goes from eighth, ahead of Gonzalo Rodriguez, the top Aston Martin. 10th and 11th, two men with nothing to fight for. Patrick Depay confirmed second in the championship, ahead of his teammate Rolf Stommelen, who has won the title already. Alfa Romeo, as a result, wrapped up the constructors. Jody Scheckter goes from 12th to lead Tyrrell, ahead of Jochen Rindt. Tyrrell are embroiled in a tense battle with Brabham for fourth in the championship, but they're ahead of both of them on the grid so far, and they'll hope to remain that way. Carlos Pace puts it ahead of Alessandro Nannini and ahead of Ronnie Peterson's McLaren, a disappointing showing from the Swede, who's been in rather good form recently. Nannini goes from 16th. He needs a good result to overhaul Scheckter and finish 7th in the championship because he is 9 points behind the South African. Sebastian Bourdais, overshadowed by Ix, a season on from his debut where he impressed here. He'll be looking to go forward in the race. Carlos Reutemann cannot finish worse than fourth in the championship, but if he outscores Alain Prost by 9 points, he'll finish third, which will be his best career championship finish. Jean-Pierre Beltois, in good form recently, but a disappointing qualifying, 10 places behind his teammate. He'll have to go forward in the race. And rounding out the grid, a man who's been in very good form recently and should have won a few races, Jean-Pierre Jarier.
Thank you again for the rundown, the last race of the season, Marco, and still a few things to be settled in Australia once again, but a season that has produced our first rookie champion for quite a while now, actually, since Ronnie Peterson, I think, which was season 20.
Yeah, 4 seasons ago.
Indeed, it is, and not a lot for the championships to be full. Both of those, of course, have been won, but all the other places, as you mentioned before, Tyrrell with Brabham, although I think that's unlikely to change. But there's also Scheckter in the Drivers' Championship himself. He's trying to hold on to 7th place, isn't he, over Nannini, also mentioned. But,
yeah, I mean, two real championship battles. The third between Prost and Reutemann. Reutemann's been in poor form for a little while, but in Brazil he was on song again, so we'll have to see, but they are far apart on the grid. And then obviously, yeah, Scheckter and Nannini, but the big battle is 9th downwards because Amon all the way down to Bourdais, who is in 15th, is separated by 9 points. It's a
Indeed.
Big result for any of them.
And all those points from Bourdais have been from the second place in Hungary, which was obviously inherited from Jody Scheckter dropping out, but he also was doing well before that anyway. But all 18 points are from there, aren't they? It's been his only points finish of the season.
Points.
Yeah, it's
and Ligier's as well. Ix will try and do that today, but it will be too much for Ligier to try and overhaul RWB, who got 16 points in Brazil and are 16 points ahead of Ligier. Now, there's a very tense battle for 6th in the championship, the constructors, that is. Aston Martin Honda sit on 36 points, Ferrari on 35, and RWB on 34. RWB really should be leading that. They've made mistakes and thrown away a lot of points. Ferrari have been plodding along fairly consistently thanks to Amon, although Andretti's addition has actually scored the most points in the second car, because Rindt and Siffert between them managed the best result of 9th, and Andretti got 8th in Canada. So,
indeed,
it'll be very interesting to see how that shakes out. And the final thing, Lotus versus McLaren, second in the championship. 3 points separate them.
Indeed, but the lights are now ahead of us for the final round of the season. Enrique Mansilla from pole in what will be probably his last race is away. For the Australian IGP, as we head down to turn 1, he's maintained it. Chiva has maintained second briefly because Andretti's now passed him. Rodriguez up into 6th place, Gavan down to 7th, but he's the top runner on the medium tyres so far, as a few others are exchanging positions behind. Prost is going for 7th, up behind Rodriguez, so he's another medium runner in the top 10, along with Depay and Ix. So Mansilla leads from Andretti and Chiva in the top 3.
Yeah, it's a colder race than I think we would have expected, because it is, of course, summer in Australia. It may be the early morning, but it's cold, which may play into the hands of the soft runners. We were expecting rain. It was wet this morning, but it's dried up. I think we're looking all right for tyres by the looks of things in terms of temperature. Prost was the best start. Actually, Peterson as well for up 5 positions, but Ix, the big loser, really down from 7th, and he's down in 15th now.
Indeed, as we head on to lap 2 now, so Mansilla is the one who's maintaining the lead. First to 20th is only a gap of 3.7 seconds at the end of the lap. But Mansilla has got Mario Andretti pursuing him fast, and dropping away is Chiva, who's got Amon up behind him as well and putting him under pressure. Baldi, Rodriguez, Prost, Gavan, Depay, Peterson follow as Depay passes Johnny Servo's Gavan briefly. It's a battle that's continuing. The Frenchman who won the last race, and we fought for a while, was still in this championship fight, is going for 8th place currently.
Yeah, he's right up behind his compatriot Alain Prost, who will hope to end McLaren's victory drought, because they haven't won for a while. Only 3 races this season. Actually, if Alfa Romeo do win today, either of their drivers, they will have 10 victories for the season, which, if my memory serves me correctly, has not happened in over 20 seasons.
Well, yeah, it would be an equal
3.
It would be an equal record if we ignore rookie.
I think, well, I just know that it hasn't happened since I believe
because McLaren obviously got close to it last season, but in the end it didn't quite happen. Yeah, but
9 last season, which
I suspect it's probably close to a record, because I don't think it's happened a lot really. Even earlier in the seasons, the proper ones. Of course, there was that rookie season, which we all want to forget about, of course. But Mansilla has got a second lead over Mario Andretti, crucially at this point, and has got Chiva and Amon on the back of him. It seems Chiva has recovered in this last lap and a half. Prost up behind Baldi and will want to be getting through the field here. Rodriguez is a bit of a blockade for everyone behind, Gavan, Peterson included, and Jarier in 10th now, and he was on the back. He was 20th, so he's gone up 10 positions, I think. Or he was at least 19th. No, I think he was 20th, wasn't he?
Jarier was last on the grid. Yep, another fantastic.
Yeah, and he's now ahead of his teammate, and he's going for. Well, he's got past Gavan. He's up into 9th, but that's changing continually as Chiva goes up into 2nd place past Mario Andretti and is up behind his teammate once more.
Yeah,
Prost.
I don't think Ferrari will be bothered by that.
Yeah, Prost and Peterson together, 6th and 7th. Peterson holding off Jarier, who's now up into 8th.
Yeah, Jarier's flying.
So now really what you would consider a battle for the wins. I don't think the soft tyres is a good tyre to start on. It's probably going to be Prost, Peterson and Jarier at the moment, with Reutemann dropping slightly away from it, but of course both Lewis's haven't started far back anyway, but he's now almost with his teammate as he passes Depay and Gavan, and Gavan's continuing to have a bit of a fight with everyone at the moment and is dropping away.
Yep. So Alfa Romeo started with 1 extra litre of fuel compared to McLaren, the Marlborough inside knowledge has told me. And they were concerned about their paces. Prost has actually lost DRS to Baldi, so that's going to allow Peterson into 6th place as Mansilla loses the lead briefly.
Yep, indeed he does. Chiva passed him with DRS, but of course they used a bit of his boost, and Mansilla reacted. So it's 4 red cars at the front at the moment, with Baldi just tagging along at the end, but outside DRS, but so is everyone else, but they'll be catching up soon enough, I would suspect. It's it's quite a sight seeing these 4 cars at the front of a race.
Yeah,
but
they
were running. Yeah, well, yes, Chiva could have easily have won last race, of course. He ran out of fuel at the end. He should have maybe at least been on the podium. 2nd, probably, is what was said.
Yeah, as Jarier is really putting on a lot of pressure on Prost. But yeah, Baldi's not quite stayed with them, so they're going to catch Baldi now. But Jarier's a real threat here by the looks of it.
Chiva into the lead finally, with Andretti following him. Mansilla down to 3rd. Amon just a bit slightly slower than them, but sticking with them. Baldi nowhere near as Prost.
Each other up.
Yeah, and now Prost wanting to home in on the Italian, the man who did finish 5th in Monaco. I think it was, what, 2 seasons ago, was it? Was it his debut,
Yeah,
I
the start
think,
of
for the
last
team?
season on his
And that
debut.
was the only significant result I think Arrows have really had. They've not really done much else so far in their championship career.
No, it's been Baldi. He scored in Monaco again, but 2 points. Then returns are dwindling. He's been linked to better seats, but he's going to end up staying put. Gavan's seat is under threat, but only really if Rainer Wiesel takes the star title tomorrow.
Indeed.
Um,
And he's not helping his case by battling everyone who's on mediums, really. It's Baldi who's easily comfortably ahead of the Frenchman who rather luckily got the seat in the first place.
yeah, when he finished runner-up to Nannini in the Star Championship, completely out of nowhere, really. Got the most podiums that season, but he probably should have won the title given the car. Jarre now is going to be the one who clears Baldi first. So that's going to be interesting, unless Baldi slams on the boost, which he might in reaction.
Indeed. So, what is the gap that they've got? So Andretti is about 5.4 seconds ahead of the first medium tyre runner, but that's not really... They're really not in this fight for the win, let's be honest.
Jarre's absolutely flying, by the way. Jarre is extraordinarily quick.
Indeed he is. He's nearly a second ahead of Peterson, but I think Peterson will be wise to just keep there. Or he will just be good enough in the last sector as Jarre gets held up behind the dirty air of Baldi. So here we go then. Peterson does indeed boost to just stay in DRS, but I think he would have been alright anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Jarre is the defending winner here. He won it last season. I think there was late drama with Tyrrell, with their fuel, and Prost looked like winning, but he couldn't quite convert it in the end. So it's certainly been drama in the past, but yes, Jarre is the defending winner of this race, and I suspect he's going to gap Baldi by over a second. As on the boost come Gavan, and Baldi is going to go back ahead of Jarre. I suspect Jarre will get him because Jarre's just got such a pace advantage in this battle for 5th. Cheever takes the lead at that point as well, and that might see a split in the group at the front if we're focused on that.
Yep, indeed we are. It's Amon and Mansilla together, and over a second behind is Amon, so he's going to be with Mansilla. But Mansilla, of course, will close up to the back of now second place Cheever as well, so it might just bring them all back together in the end. As Jarre, in the end, does have DRS behind Baldi, and it's basically how it was in the last lap, well, the start of the last lap. Because Prost is not past Baldi, and Jarre is going to clear off now, and will be on his own. He's done this before in races, of course, but he's usually done that when he's been on pole position, like Brazil a few times, which we mentioned last week. Did that at least 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah, Baldi's struggling for pace now quite a lot. Beltois still last. Ix, the big loser so far this race, because he has dropped from 7th on the grid to 18th. It's not quite, I suspect, what he would hope for, but he will end up probably in the car that Mansilla is in at the moment.
Indeed. Stomlin battling with Tyrrells at the moment, both Rindt and Scheckter. They've boosted, so that would be why, but his teammate is a couple of positions ahead of him, although in terms of time, barely anything. They're all very closely packed together as Prost goes past Baldi on start of lap 10, and so does Reutemann as well. So Baldi's now a bit of a sinking stone at the moment. Yeah. He should be passed by Peterson as well. Indeed is. And now Scheckter, even an AI to AI is probably going to pass him because he's just got no grip on his tyres at the moment. Indeed does by 2 cars, in fact. Both Scheckter and Depay, although Depay is battling with him. Back to the front, though. This is Cheever, Andretti, Mansilla, and Amon. As I said, they're all just close.
They're going to be apart from Amon. Some of them are going to be in this lap.
Yeah, apart from Amon. He's the one who's been dropped by the 3 in front. But yeah, some of them are going to be in. But look at Jarre, though. He's got immense pace at this stage of the race. 38.9 in the last lap. As Cheever and Andretti pit. 2 Americans.
Yeah.
Reutemann past
I wonder
Prost.
that, yeah, they're now going to catch Amon.
Yeah.
Jarre by the end of this lap, it looks like.
Indeed.
I wonder if Lotus will waste some boost for Reutemann try. I don't think there's no point trying to get Reutemann to catch up to Jarre because it's just let Jarre run his own race. And here on the boost, I think that's Rodriguez, who started well but dropped back. But as long as you're as long as you stay in this big train, then you're in pretty good stead basically. As long as you can stay in the train. The issue for everyone in terms of fuel consumption will be if the mediums don't go long enough and they've got to switch to hard tyres. That'll be a problem.
Yeah, let's see where... I mean, a few things are going to change it, not a lot. Prost and Peterson pass for him, but otherwise it's not really important. Check to run in the top 5 at the moment. So Mansilla and Amon, where do they come out relative to Cheever and Andretti? Basically where they were, sort of. Amon's not really near anyone.
Andretti.
Yep, he has, but Amon is nowhere near this group at the moment, as he was anyway before he stopped. So Jarier out in the lead, 1.5 seconds almost in the previous sector. Can Prost close up? Does he really need to anyway? Can he just use himself and Peterson as a way to just keep getting closer to Jarier now that everyone in front is gone? So Reutemann then, Scheckter putting him under pressure, but Scheckter was under pressure from Depay and Stomlin. Rindt a bit behind because he's behind Pache and Stomlin. So here we go then. Peterson past Prost now. Has he got pace here? Peterson has won this race, I think, at least once.
Certainly won it in 20.
Yeah, I think
21, I think.
Yeah, I think Scheckter won that one maybe as well. I don't know. I think he won it twice in a row.
Patrese only career victory came here in 22.
Yeah, okay, so it was only once, I think, for Scheckter. I think
When
Peterson's the one who should have won this race last season, I think. Or it was the season before that.
I thought
when he ended. When I think he ended Scheckter's second championship quite well in the season, but yeah. Can he close up to Jarier? He's had a good sector. Bit faster, but not enough.
Yeah, Reutemann down to 7th. Lotus is struggling now.
Yep. So here's Peterson. Not enough, but Prost is going to be on the back of him, and here goes Scheckter on the boost to get past everyone. Pache follows as well, so that moves the Alfa Romeos down to 8th and 9th, and Reutemann down to 7th. Rindt's up to 6th. And Peterson down to 4th, because Scheckter also got past him. Now 5th, Rindt ahead of Pache. So here we go then. This is the important thing. Can Prost produce pace against Jarier? Seems like he can at the moment.
So,
yeah, Scheckter, Peterson, Reutemann, Stomlin, Nannini in, and also X and Beltois.
Yeah.
Prost leads then from Jarier. Pache is the one who's third now and has got Depay behind him. Rindt following, then Bourdais a bit behind with Rodriguez. So where do these guys come out? Scheckter's the lead of this group at the moment, which is pretty interesting, and he's quite ahead of Peterson at the moment. Don't think it will remain like that though. So they're just behind Cheever, Andretti, Mansilla and Amon. About a sector or so behind. Yeah, about 7 seconds or so.
Yeah, well, Peterson's got to try and make sure he's within Scheckter's DRS range. That's his main priority.
Should be able to, unless he struggles in this sector here. Now, where are they going to come out? Where are all these guys going to come out relative? So, Cheever back and Mansilla back into the lead, and there's 2 cars past both Cheevers, Mansilla and Andretti together. Andretti going for the lead here. Now, where do these guys join out? They're ahead, so it's Prost, Peterson, Scheckter, Jarier ahead of Reutemann as well. So they didn't really lose much time there. Undercut didn't really do anything.
No, we'll cross the DRS to get past Jarier, and the lead Jarier now passes Scheckter. So
briefly.
Yeah, Rodriguez is the one who's lost out.
The back of this group. Gavin now ahead of Baldi as well. Having stopped.
Yeah, well, that must have been the undercut. Yeah, because the tyres had hit a huge cliff. Eamon's struggling. Andretti's managing to deal with
Yeah.
RWB quite
He
nicely.
was already far behind anyway, so that's not a surprise. But he's got no pace at the moment because everyone else in front's got DRS and behind too.
Yeah, it's a big DRS train. Is basically what it is.
Yeah, this is usually what we get at Australia, though, quite a few times in recent
I think we've had field
seasons.
spread or more significant field spread before, but Ix has ended up.
Not in the
Ix
AIC
has done the
race.
best.
No.
I think Ix has done the best out of this.
No. In the AIC race, it usually is quite this bad, to be fair. Star Race is a bit different, but we haven't had one for a few seasons now, have we? And we certainly haven't this season, I don't think. It's... What's the lot? It's Bahrain, isn't it, again? Tomorrow.
Yeah, Bahrain finale tomorrow and start. Jarry once again pressuring Prost early in the stint, and he gets past the Frenchman. So it's going to be Jarry who leads this group again, as Chiva and Andretti and Mansilla are all struggling.
I mean, the front guys have got good pace at the moment. 14 seconds ahead of Jarry. Well, really 13 seconds because Jarry's just passed Peterson. At the moment, it's... Yeah. 13.5 second lead, similar pace at this point. It just depends where they drop out, really, and, you know, pit lane time loss. Could RWB be in a good position again? I mean, right now, Andretti's really showing manners.
Long pit lane, though.
I know.
It's a long pit lane. It's about
indeed.
30 seconds.
Indeed, but Andretti at the moment is showing manners over Chris Amon at the moment, and has done for quite a few races. Because he's fighting for both RWBs at the moment. Amon is absolutely nowhere. In fact, you can see Amon and everyone else behind on the same straight. There's Prost.
Right, Prost back to the front.
He goes ring with his boost to get past all these, but this is going to have all other AI people pushing past. Schechter's the one. He's going to go in front of Prost, which is dumb. But there we are. That's what happens. Yeah, it's 15th to, what, 5th, which is all close together, and then a bit of a gap from the arrows to everyone else, Beltoir, Bourdais, and Rodriguez included. Prost will stay in the front of this group, but we'll have Jarier right behind him, and Peterson's past Schechter. Pace starting to go away with the soft tyre runners now a bit. But they'll be in, I presume, at this lap or the next. It's going to be a few more, it seems, at least.
Yeah, well...
Anyway, here's Jarier past Prost into 5th place. As they continue to close in on Chris Amon. They're not going to quite pass him before he makes his stop, I don't think, but they're going to be closer than they were.
Yeah, Amon will be the... No, Amon won't be the first. It'll be Chiva and Andretti who are in. I presume they'll be in this lap, but Mancilla's leading. So that's fine for Mansilla, really.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah, he'll be going the extra lap, won't he? So, yeah. Chiva and Andretti in then. Where are they going to... Well, they're going to be at the back, obviously, but we'll have to see where they come out again and what their pace is going to be like, because they're going to go on soft tyres again. So that's going to be, what, 5 stops or something?
I make 4 stop easily if you're doing 11 laps still.
Just about, yeah. Just do a medium stint, yeah. The pace is going to be interesting, though, of course.
How far behind are they?
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking more when everyone else makes their stop and what kind of pace they have on new tyres now.
So it's starting to go away for Lotus, I think, in terms of pace, because Peterson looks quite a bit quicker than Jarier, at least in the first sector, 7/10.
Does.
Uh,
Reutman's wanting to get past the South Africans checked at the moment, but can't quite do it. Mansilla in and Eamon will be as well. Here's Peterson, then he's going to be... Well, he's not going to be into the lead,
they're only
actually.
5 seconds off the back of the main pack.
Yeah. Indeed. Cheever's gapped Andretti a bit here. So he's not going to get DRS behind his fellow American. But Mansilla slots in behind and is going to boost ahead of Cheever. So the Ferrari a bit behind the RWB now. The sole one that was in this group. Amon's massively behind because he's just not been good in the last stint and has had no DRS. Well, it was really the stint before. It was the first one where he just fell back a bit, unfortunately. Anyway, the two McLarens chasing Jarier, who's pulled out a bit of a gap on this lap here. Nearly about 2/10 faster. And Prost seems to be struggling relative to Peterson at the moment. So that might explain a bit why he's boosting. I think he would have been alright, but nevertheless, he does do it. It doesn't really matter. Has a perfect amount of boost. So, top 5, Prost, Jarier, Peterson, Scheckter, Reutman. What's the lead though? It's only about 30. It's about the same amount it was when these guys were in the front of the race, just before they made their stop. 13 seconds. And their sectors are, well, they're similar to the front guys, really. Well, at least Prost.
X has decided he wants to go with the leading group, so...
He does. He's passing Rint.
Yeah,
well,
Rint passed him back.
Yeah, Scheckter's still in this. Yeah, he's been brilliant this season, Scheckter, in most races, considering what he's had this season. But
not unexpected.
No, it's not. Already Pirate
He's going to go to the front
with
now.
McLaren in a few seasons because of his disgruntled nature at Tyrrell currently and their competitive prospects. But he's into second place now with his boost in, and will be up behind Jarier, blocking the McLarens away from the French Lotus driver. So, where do Mansilla, Cheever and Andretti stand? They're 13.4, 13.9 and 14 seconds behind the front group. Closing it up on the Arrows. They were the slowest medium tyre runners, obviously, because they pitted earliest of them. By about a couple laps. Anyway, to the front. Is Scheckter going to fall behind Jarier's DRS? Don't really matter for the McLarens. He does indeed. Lost 4/10 in the last sector, nearly 5. So it goes back into 4th. Surprised you can lose that much time in that sector, but there we are. Jarier remains in the lead for at least a near full lap again. Pache and Brent fighting at the end of the top 10. And then X has fallen away a bit now. But he's boosting. Then he dropping back as well, of course. It's been a good purple patch in some ways for Pache. He did have that Canada performance, which wasn't too good, but otherwise he's been good in places this season. And that group does finally get onto the back of the Arrows, and Mansilla at least is past Gavin. As Prost goes into the lead. Peterson following Scheckter a bit behind, but they're all sticking together, obviously, and that will be the case right till the end, in the exception of the AI guys like Scheckter and Pache and so on. I wonder if X could still be on for a good result here, as long as he keeps the fuel, as long as, well, Ligier keep the fuel together. And that will cement his place in the championship, I suppose. He's likely to go to RWB, is what we're hearing. So, he'll be... his future in this championship is at least secure.
Yeah, and now that the stint's worn on, the guys who pitted earlier are starting to struggle.
Yeah, they are. Peterson is one of them. But he remains in DRS as Jarier goes back into the lead of the race. Further down, Cheever, Andretti, Mansilla, nearly well, basically 10 seconds behind the leaders now. Cheever is passing many people as much as he... Well, yes, all the AI people on the medium tyres, really. So it's not much of a battle, and of course they're boosting along with that. So they're about, 10 seconds behind Jean-Pierre Jarier. And they're going to make their stop around this time now. It's going to be, well, next lap, well, next 2 laps. Lap 30, we should suspect Jarier and Prost will be in. 29, Peterson and Scheckter, and so on.
Yeah, that is what we'd be expecting. Jarry's starting to gap.
A bit earlier, Scheckter, Reutemann in.
That's
as well, and Nannini.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was about to say, is Bordet coming as well, mistakenly, but no, he hasn't. Anyway, Prost again ahead of Jarier. Peterson and Rindt has got a bit of a problem here. But he should be in.
The 2 stoppers have already passed. Sorry, the 4 stoppers have already passed some of the 3 stoppers.
Yeah, they have. I mean, I did say Mansilla was only about, well, he's now 8 seconds behind the leader, but he was only about 10 the lap before. So it's not surprising at all. They passed them before. Well, they passed them. They passed them in the last stint, and they were further behind. So it's just what you expect, of course, because it's a long pit lane. It's going to be interesting, though. Of course, it's going to be interesting. The only problem for them, of course, is their AI, so they're just not going to have the boost at the end. That
Andretti will.
Well, yes, Andretti will, but Cheever had that situation last race and could have easily still been winning the race.
Yeah.
So it's not really a biggie, but it's great from Andretti at the
Stomlin
moment.
onto hard, so Stomlin's trying to go soft at the end.
Yeah.
Stomlin onto the hard tyres. I'm not
see how this
quite
goes.
sure why.
Well, he wasn't really going anywhere, was he? The Alphas were a bit stuck behind certain cars, and he was the one who was struggling more than his teammate. So he might as well just gamble. There's nothing to lose. He's won the championship. Alpha won the Constructors. The only thing to win, well, it's not really winning anything, but it's just equaling that record seasons ago.
Getting double figures of race wins.
Yes.
Anyway, right up behind Peterson.
Indeed. So, they're about 13 seconds, well, 12. Yeah, they're about where they were, really, were the Jarier group, relative to Andretti and so on. So, it's just whether these guys have pace now.
Right, so Jarry's going after Eamon. By the looks of it, but Eamon's going to be in fairly soon.
Bad news for Scheckter now. But he'll be alright, because everyone else is filtering back through anyway, so... Just means he's lost a position, really. That's all it's done. Presumably, Reutemann will block Prost a bit. There's no point really trying to chase after Jarier, because Jarier could easily get to the back of Eamon within a couple of laps. They're 16 they're 16 seconds behind Enrique Mansilla at the moment. And an extra stop for the RWB and Andretti and Eamon to make. Andretti to the lead again, briefly, because Cheever and Mansilla react with a bit of boost, I think, or we're just quicker, I don't know. Bit weird, though.
I have a strong feeling that Andretti might win this.
He has a good chance, certainly. Has already been a race winner, of course. Did win for Lotus in Season 21 Canada, I think it was. At Montreal. So, yeah, Jarier and Reutemann have closed together, so it's not... He's just backed off Jarier to get Reutemann closer, and as that's happening, Jarier's closing to the back of Eamon. He should be within his DRS at the end of this lap, I think. I think he should be. With how the stint's gone for Eamon, he just hasn't been quick in any of them. The reason why he's 13 seconds behind it is more DRS than anything, and indeed he is. He's going to get past
DRS
him.
is the most important thing.
Yes, but he also lost that himself, so there's nothing really to complain about. He was on the same strategy as one of the RWBs, so no real excuse.
Yeah.
Considering where his teammate is, it's just not been quick enough for him. So he falls behind Reutemann as well, so that bridges the two Lotuses from the McLarens briefly, but won't be for long. I think Prost should be quick enough to pass him through the track anyway. So Stolman, how's he going? Well, he's keeping in the DRS of this group. just about, which he will be happy about. But the problem is, I just don't think he's going to have any pace as he continues his stint. I don't think it's really going to do anything for him.
He's going to lose DRS off Rint, I reckon.
He might do, but I think Stomlin will just react with boost, I suspect. Just to keep him
Andretti pits, so as does Cheever.
Yeah, is that early? No, not really. It's, yeah, basically the same stint again, isn't it? So, yeah. I didn't really recall how far they were behind. So Andretti slotted in behind Alessandro Nannini. Should be quicker. And he's got, of course, he's got his boost because a manager is in, but they just, well, they just can't manage the same way that other managers can. They can only use their boost in one full dump.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would be disqualified, which has, of course, happened with Ferrari before in previous days. But anyway, Mansilla is in. He's the sole one of the soft tyres now. Oh, sorry, no aim on as well, but he's so far behind, so keep an eye on him. Anyway, back to the front, Jarier into the lead, Reutemann behind, Prost will pass the Argentine into turn 1 and 2. Scheckter still running in the top 5, Ickx 6th, hoping for another good result. Haven't had many Ligier, but Ickx has had a few, I think, in the last few seasons, some here and there. I was thinking a Silverstone race, but I don't know if he ran out of fuel in that one. But he was running well there.
Yeah, there was a good Silverstone race here, but he seemed to just evaporate, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How far behind are these guys? So Andretti's about 10.4, 10.3 seconds behind. He's going to be he's going to catch them, maybe even before they stop, so... They'll be virtually doing the same thing at the end, won't they? Apart from Stomlin. Interesting.
Yeah, Cheever's dropped back now. Cheever's in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, he is. He's stuck up behind Nannini. And Nannini's got DRS himself, so it's not really helping.
At the moment, at least. I think Andretti's in very good position for a very good result.
Yeah, Mansilla's got the fresh tyres, of course, though. But there's not got much boost left. Only got about half of his battery left, and he'll have less than that before the end.
And here comes Tyrrell.
Yep, Scheckter on the boost. He's got used about nearly 75% of his boost now. And Reutemann falling back on Jarier. And that will get Scheckter up into second place briefly, I would suspect, unless Reutmann's doing enough, and he's done enough in the last sector. In fact, gained about 4 attempts. So top 3, Jarier, Reutemann, Scheckter. Let's keep an eye on Andretti, 10 seconds behind. It's a bit of a stunted progress now because of cars they're having to get through.
Yeah.
If they can get within about 3 or 4 seconds before they stop or something like that, I mean, they're in it. Andretti at least is.
Andretti needs to, because Prost has the capacity, as does I think pretty much just Prost and Depay are the only two of the capacity to go soft for the final stint, and possibly Stomlin as well.
So whether that's going to be quick enough anyway.
Do it. Yeah, but Andretti's going to do it in this stint.
Yeah, he does. If he can get 3 seconds behind or something like that, it'll be alright. It'll be on for a good result in any case, I would hope. In his case. Anyway, here's Andretti passing Rodriguez. Yep, and back to the front. He's into second. Because
why is Depay so slow?
No clue at the moment. But
the hard's actually now the best tyre to be on.
Yeah, at the moment.
I wonder.
Yeah, Stomlin's kept in it, hasn't he? He kept in DRS, and that's kept him in good stead because Ickx is not as fast as the others in front of him, and is just about remaining in DRS. But Depay's got no pace at this stage, and he's one of the later stoppers, along with Prost in the last stint on the mediums. So that's interesting. Right, where's Andretti? Andretti's 8.6 seconds behind. What was he doing in the last sector? 29.3. What the front were doing? 29.5. Interesting. And here go Mansilla Andretti. Sorry, Cheever behind Andretti.
So Cheever's here now again.
Yeah. So he's not going to get away from him. Is Andretti. He's not going to get away from the 2 RWBs. Which I don't think he'll like. Lost a bit of time in that sector, actually. So Jarier, Scheckter, Peterson wanting to get past the South African. A bit of boost being used somewhere. Don't know where that was. And Ix has fallen behind from the tail of this group and now has got Stommelin and Depay behind. So Stommelin's going to get onto the back of the top 6. But no, Ix did have a good enough final sector to just remain in DRS. I think he might have used boost as well, I suspect. Pache on his own. Beltoir, Mansilla ahead of Andretti. 8. Yeah, they're not really doing anything now. They're just sort of stagnating in terms of their times. They were gaining in the last few laps, but now Andretti's not really doing much, and neither is Mansilla. They need to get onto the back of Beltoir, really. Who's got no boost left at the moment.
Yeah.
Is his manager in game?
Yeah, Aston are done, and they are suggesting that they are done for good in the championship.
Oh, that's not good news, but I suppose the account will stay in there, but...
No,
yeah.
well, we'll see.
Yeah. Here's Mansilla then. He's onto the back of Beltoir. Is he in his deer? No, he's not. Here comes Andretti then. Charrier ahead of Prost, Peterson, Rint now 4th. That's the highest I think I've seen Rint in the race so far. Only briefly though, because Schecter's back past him. But it's changing again and again.
Reutemann's dropping back now, having pitted early. The offset's starting to come into it. I think if McLaren can get clear of Jarry, they'll be in great position.
Indeed. So Depay now.
But I think certain teams are going to be very tight on fuel, and those certain teams I think are going to be tight on fuel are pretty much everyone except Lotus, McLaren, Alfa, and Ligier.
Yeah.
I think all of the other 6 teams are going to be... Oh, and probably Arrows. I think the other 6 teams are all going to be tight on fuel.
Indeed. Now these guys, it's not going to be long until they're going to be in the pits again. So they need to start hammering some good laps in and get to the back of these guys, especially Andretti's case, because he's the one who can actually just have as good as pace and have boost at the end to use. But he's not doing it because he's got Mansilla in front of him and they're not creaming through the field at the moment. Not even into the top 10 so far.
Scheckter and Rint are going at it again.
Yeah, into 2nd and 3rd. So the 2 Tyrrells are going to be 1 and 2 in the next lap, maybe.
Yeah, it's curtains really for Reutemann.
It is, because he's fallen behind. He's not even ahead of the Alpha. So Scheckter comes into the pits, so... along with Reutemann and Ix. Yeah, this is not good. Unfortunately, I think the force-up is going to completely fall away now, because they're not quick enough.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see.
So Rint in the lead, and will be in this lap. As Prost will continue on, as he boosts ahead of Rint to get a bit of a gap. As the Tyrrell will pit. That'll bridge him from... well, Peterson will be in, I think, so... it will keep Jarrier away from Prost. And I suppose Depay in that as well, though Jarrier is probably going to be in. Indeed he is. So it will keep Stommelin and Depay away from Prost, maybe. No, not enough. Stommelin goes into the lead. And Depay will not quite pass Prost, but will be right behind him.
Yeah.
So, Marlboro teams 1, 2 and 3 at the moment. Martini 4th and 5th. The RWBs, and then the 2 Ferraris 6th and 7th, but that won't last for long. Till 8th and 9th. Peterson has rolled out in 10th, and the 2 Lotuses 11th and 12th at the moment, with Ix just a bit behind at the moment, vying for a top 10 result.
Ix should score points, I think.
Yeah, he should do with the strategy.
He should get... well, they'd definitely get Eamon.
Yeah. Unless this stint now collapses or something, or they just run out of fuel, then there's every chance that does happen. But I hope Ix does get a good result. Depay in then, so he's earliest, of course. So that means that Prost is extending this stint, and probably wisely. Might as well see if that does anything for him. He's not really in danger of anything happening to him, I don't think, at the moment. He might be a bit behind the group that have just pitted, but not much. And he'll have fresher tyres.
And that's
for this
not
last
great for Depay, eh?
No, it's not. He's fallen in behind both Lotuses, so that's where Prost is going to be, isn't it? Maybe even behind
Prost
Vix.
is ahead though. I think Prost will be ahead of the Lotus cars.
He might be. We'll see. I think he'll be.
It's impressive how Tyrrell. According to the game, the best car on the grid's the RWB, followed by the Tyrrell, followed by the McLaren, which I suppose explains why Tyrrell are so much more competitive than Brabham, who earlier in the season did really look like being better.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I guess we'll see. They might run out of fuel.
Anyway, this is important. Where does Prost roll out? I don't think he'll be ahead of the Lotuses. Not quite. He's actually,
Ahead
he's
of
just
Depay,
ahead.
though.
Yeah, ahead of Depay. So that's good news. It means he isn't behind someone like, well, unfortunately for Stommelen, he is behind. He's gone to the softs, and of course so has Prost as a result.
Charrier's in actually probably the best position here.
Yeah, indeed. Did yeah, Andretti has pit, yeah, and he's 14th. So what can he do from here? Not really a lot, I don't think. Unfortunately, it's too far behind. I mean, he's not massively behind though, and he's got a bit of boost available, but it's going to be difficult, I suspect, with Cheever in the way as well. Anyway, Peterson into lead now as everyone makes their last stop. Finally, Mansella does as Scheckter follows him, and then it's Reutemann, Prost battling to get past, and will easily do so. This has got to be a chance for Prost to easily win this race in the end, as long as his tyres hold up, because he's just on fresher rubber.
And the fuel. We just don't know about the fuel situation for everyone as well.
True.
But it's looking like it should be alright.
But you would have to say he's, well, he's in a better position in terms of fuel, because he won't be able to push as much, obviously, on those tyres. They'll warm up even more easily. Although I don't suspect at this point it would be much of a difference, just being on the fresher tyre, on the softer tyre. Anyway, Peterson in the lead, ahead of Scheckter, who will go into the lead, I suspect, but not for a while, because Prost is right behind. Indeed he does. Scheckter leads this race. Prost second. Third is Peterson. The two Lotuses following as well. Alfa Romeo not as in a strong position as they were earlier in other races, but still in there. Depay and Stommelen. Stommelen's the one who's on the softer tyres, but because he was just behind Prost, fell in behind the two Lotuses, so he's not at the front of this field. As here is Prost vying for the lead. He should just stick behind and get DRS and clear off if he wants, really. That'll probably be his best.
and Peterson are really going at it. But
Yeah, they are, but they're stuck up behind Peterson and Rindt. I think that's the last bit of boost I think the two Tyrrells will use. Well, no, sorry, that'll be the last that Rindt will use, but Scheckter is going to use some to get back into the lead.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll please Prost.
That should be the last that they use, I think, unless, well, the last lap probably, maybe. Yeah. Now, where is Andretti? He's 10th, so he's going to get a point out of this, unless he runs out of fuel. And he could still finish ahead of Ix.
I think Ferrari
if Ix
final
falls behind.
fuel.
Yeah. But he should be getting a point at least, which is, well, scant rule, really, for his race. But there we are.
Oh, I think he'll get more than that. I think he'll get a decent haul. I think he's.
If people run out of fuel, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but they're going to be closing down on the tyres he's got.
They are, but yeah. But I don't think massively. I don't think as massively as you think they would, because it didn't the last stint. They got within about
Prost
5 seconds, and then they plateaued the changing of the gap. Yeah, Prost is into the lead. Did what he would have done the previous lap if Scheckter hadn't used his boost. Snake of cars from second all the way to 9th place. Chasing as Stommelen is now going into into the top 5. Wasn't ahead of Jarier as well, briefly. So he's now coming to the floor as well. Prost has got a near second gap over Jody Scheckter, his old rival for the championship in season 21.
Yes, they did have a championship battle, I suppose.
Yeah, it was. Well, it went to the second to last race where Scheckter won.
Mexico.
The last, the last. No, I think that was with Peterson in season 20. I think it was Turkey where Scheckter won his first championship in season 21 on the Boxing Day race, which is going to be happening this year as well, in the next season. So Peterson up behind Prost. Can he do the job for him and just hold up Jarier, or is that really wise for him? I don't think it really matters, to be honest. Prost should be in a good position as long as he has the fuel. Jarrier's got the most boost, I think, but not much more than Prost, and is on older and less on harder tyres, sorry. Here's Depaille. He's into 5th now, so the Alfa Romeos are coming through just slightly. Here goes Peterson. He's going to get not quite past Prost. Perfectly planned by McLaren there, because now Prost should clear off again.
Fastest man on the track is Eddie Cheever, I believe. No, sorry, Enrique Mansilla.
Yeah. I think what I've said would happen is happening. I think the guys who have pitted a bit later on the softer tyres, similar time actually to most of them, are not gaining as massively as you would think. So I don't think Andretti's going to get much more unless some things happen. Really. He's gaining a few tenths a lap, but not a lot. And that's just because everyone's tucked up behind with DRS and Andretti's on his own. I mean, he's got Mansilla behind him, but that's just holding him up for the whole lap. Anyway, Prost. Here we go again. Will Peterson get past this time? Yes, he will. And
Jarier gets Stommelen.
yeah, Stommelen briefly was into 3rd. Well, was remaining 3rd, but then Jarier got him on the brakes. As Jarier goes for 2nd here on Prost. He's going for it. He's trying to get ahead.
Two fastest guys on track. The fastest guy on track is Stommelen, then it's Mansilla, then it's Scheckter, and then it's Andretti. So there's not that much in it anymore.
No. I think this top 9, in terms of the cars that are going to be in the top 9, is settled. What order they're in?
I'm not sure. I think Andretti has a shot at getting Rint.
Oh, yes, true. Yes, the boosting. Yeah, fair enough. There is that. I was talking about the other cars, the ones who are actually not AI. Yeah. 6th and 7th at the moment. The two Tyrrells should fall behind, and they'll probably only get scraps again. But that's what you expect, really. If you're an AI car that doesn't have its manager in, that is, anyway, Prost. Again in the lead, with Jarier falling, and, yeah, Stommelen passes Peterson for 3rd place. So, Alfa Romeo going for another podium. But they'll want a win, really. They'll want the 10 wins. Don't think it's going to happen today, though. And, yeah, Rint does use the last of his boost, I think, now. And Scheckter should be doing it soon, I would suspect. So he's going to be up behind Prost, and then Jarier will follow. Along with probably Stommelen as well, because he's quite close behind. So Prost is probably going to be down to 4th.
Prost is going to be in trouble, I think.
Yeah, he might even be down to 5th. I don't know. He might be behind his teammate. Let's see. No, it's not as bad as I thought. It's only it's just 3rd. He's remaining 3rd.
That's exactly where he wants to be.
Yeah, it is. Indeed it is. So, Rint
and here
from...
comes...
Ah, yeah. So, now again, a Tyrrell 1-2, but only for what... He's managed to get ahead of his teammate as well. So, Rint's going to be back into the lead briefly on the next lap. Although they're fighting for 1st at the moment. Good on them. What's Andretti doing? He's still fighting with Pache for the last point at the moment. That should turn into 8th in the end, but I don't think anything more than that. Unfortunately.
I think we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I still have a feeling Ligier might have a problem with X, but that's just what I strongly suspect.
Jarier is going to go into the lead. Yep. Or is it, Rint's in the lead? So that's actually very much what you'd want if you were...
Yeah, I think Jarier should get past Rint on this lap. Which is what Prost will want, because he'll go past. What Jarier wants to do is just stay behind. Because at the moment, this is where he wants to be. But Prost hasn't got much pace at the moment. He's losing a bit, although it's closed up again in this sector. Yeah, but Jarier's doing the smart thing, just falling behind Rint, because he's got more boost. And here goes Andretti on the... Oh, he's done it before. That's rather suspect, but anyway, we'll ignore it. It's not really going to make much of a difference, actually, because he's going to clear off from Rint. I was about to say, that was interesting. Here goes the boost in. Prost has just briefly got ahead of Jarier. That might be important. That might be important. Because if Prost has got enough boost for the rest of the lap to stay ahead, he should be quick enough to remain in 1st place, but it's going to be interesting. They're so close together. Still ahead, but only just. And Jarrier's still got more boost here. And Prost can't afford to come off it, but he has slightly, and he's just about got ahead. And I think Jarrier should win this race. He's got more boost. Is anyone running out of fuel? It doesn't seem like it. Peterson's third at the moment. Can he hold on to that? I think he can. So it's going to be 2 McLarens on the podium. But here comes Jean-Pierre Jarrier. He runs out of fuel, but he wins the race from the 2 McLarens of Peterson and Prost. Did Prost run out of fuel, or did he just have not enough boost to stay ahead of
Prost
Peterson?
didn't run out of fuel. He just didn't have the tyres to do it.
Yeah. And he finished behind even his teammate, as Peterson, who was on all the time.
So Jarry becomes the 5th winner of the season.
Yeah. Pi 4th, Reutemann 5th, 6th Stomlin, 7th Andretti in the end. So yes, he did get a good result. He finished ahead of Ix. I don't know if he ran out of fuel, just enough pace. Rindt, well, to be fair, yeah, he was. I just don't think he had the pace and didn't use his boost correctly. So yeah, 9th and 10th. Sorry, is it Scheckter and Rindt in 9th and 10th?
Yep.
Yep. 2 RWBs don't get any points, 11th and 12th. Then it's Pache, Beltois, Rodriguez, Cresamon, lowly position for him. Manini, Bourdais, and the 2 arrows, Baldi and Gavin, which is where we usually expect them to be.
Yeah, and yes, Stomlin down in 6th, but good result for Ix, which will, I'm sure, please him. And Rindt beats Scheckter in the end, doesn't he? So.
Well, I'm having to wait for the standings because annoyingly it's new season, so it just makes it for some reason makes.
Well, I can tell you this championship. Stomlin obviously. I mean, nothing actually changes in material. The top 7. I mean, the top 10. So the only change is that Andretti jumps Trilli and Ix jumps Baldi and.
Yeah. So we'll just go for it. I'll just go for it. So in the teams, of course, Alfa Romeo had already won the Constructors' Championship. Finished on 513 points, I think, didn't they? Yep. Lotus on 404. McLaren on 399 in 3rd. Tyrrell on 92. Don't get over the 3-figure points tally in 4th. That's the worst finish in the Constructors' Championship. 5th is Brabham on 73. 6th Ferrari on 41. Aston Martin on 36 and 7th. RWB on 34 in 8th, Ligier on 22 in 9th place, and 10th Arrows, who've only scored 2 points across the season. Rolf Stolman, of course, was our Drivers' Championship winner at the end of the last race on 267 points in 1st. Patrick Depay makes it an Alfa Romeo 1-2 in the end on 246 points. Alain Prost, 223 points in 3rd. Carlos Reutemann, 4th on 209. Jean-Pierre Jarier finishing the season strong in 5th place on 195. Ronnie Peterson 156 in 6th place. Jody Scheckter on 54 in 7th. Nannini on 44 in 8th. Chris Amon on 27 in 9th place. Jean-Pierre Beltois on 25 in 10th. Jochen Rindt 24 points in 11th. Enrique Mansilla 12th with 21. 13th Carlos Pache on 20. Sebastian Bourdais 18 points in 14th. Dan Gurney, who did, of course, not close out the season, but was probably the best performer for Brabham in the year, or got the best result at least, on 18 points in 15th. Eddie Cheever, 16th on 13 points. I think the bulk of that was taken in the last race, of course. 17th place, Gonzalo Rodriguez on 11. Mario Andretti in 18th on 10. A good sub-stint for him in the Ferrari. Jackie Ix on 4 in 19th place. Joe Siffert with 3 in 20th. Mauro Baldi on 2 in 21st. And Johnny Servo's Gavin, the only non-point scorer of the season, on 0, of course, in 22nd.
Yeah, and that closed out the season. Alfa Romeo winning in their first season in the championship. Jarre, as has just been pointed out to me, won from last on the grid.
Indeed, which is
very impressive. I think McLaren will.
I think we've had that before, haven't we? I think we've had.
Yeah, we have. DuPont's done it. Yeah, people done it. I think McLaren will feel that Prost could have won that with a slightly different circuit. They probably should have gone mediums in the final stint, but anyway.
Maybe.
It didn't work out for Stomlin either.
I think the crucial thing was just he didn't have enough boost and he held off slightly too long, but he had to, really. because otherwise he would have
Yeah.
just been beaten to the line. But it probably cost him second, I would suspect. So I don't really know how Peterson got into that position. I thought both had enough boost, or the similar amount. But
Yeah, it was the tyres, really. It was the tyres. But
yeah, I'm still surprised by that though. I thought it would have been all right. I thought it would have just held on easily.
so it's been a very interesting season. That's all I can say.
And then we'll be back on the road again next weekend, of course, though, for the first round of season 25 at
Brazil,
Interlagos, which has not opened up a season for. No, sorry, it does regularly. Sorry, open up seasons before. Did it open up this season? I think it did.
No, it was last weekend.
Oh yes, no, sorry, it was. It has regularly in previous seasons though. It has opened.
Yes,
up a
it's
season,
most notably season 11, I believe.
Yeah.
But
in recent times, I think Cherry opened up the championship.
I
in
think
season
we
22.
have to give driver of the day to Jarier for his last.
Yeah. There is just.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
Prost really should have won that race. I think McLaren will be very annoyed.
There's just days when Jarier will turn up, but not enough really to win a championship. But he's been close.
He's finished 14 points behind Reutemann this season, but in my view, he was the better Lotus driver this season.
Overall, you think, yeah. The problem I have with judging Lotus's drivers is that Eto goes in and out of phases of people that he does trust and doesn't, and that's why there's already the rumour that Mario Andretti is going to go back to Lotus within a season or two. He's going to probably race for Ferrari next season and then move over to Lotus again. So that's the problem you have with judging. I think it's the problem with judging the performance of the drivers, because one season it looks like Jerry is absolutely useless for most of it and Reutemann's better, but then it changes over again. But we will be back.
Completely fair to give Andretti a full season.
Yes, it would be, because he was the better driver between the two, him and Jerry, when they were at Lotus together. But anyway, we'll be back next weekend.
Ferrari. Yes.
Oh, for Ferrari, yes. Yeah, that is totally justified, because Joe Siffert was the only other option currently, him or Beloff, and Andretti's the better choice by far. But anyway, we'll be in Interlagos next weekend for the opening round of next season, and until then, goodbye.